What's going on, guys? It's Bryce again. Welcome to the Expedition to Try podcast. I got no idea what I'm doing with my life. I'm assuming a lot of you don't either. Let's try and figure it out together. I'm here with my buddy Billy. We're housemates, so the quarantine doesn't affect us. And Rodger's here as well. You'll hear him clacking. So, Billy, you can give your elevator pitch of who are you?
Who am I?
Where did you come from?
Where did I go?
Where did you go?
Where did I come from? Where did I go? I was born on Long Island to two working class parents, and everybody that goes to Long Island has to go to Binghamton University. So I went to Binghamton University, and I knew that I wanted to do something in medicine, and I knew I didn't want to be a doctor, so I figured I'll be a nurse. And I went to nursing school. That was hard, but we did it. And now I'm a nurse, and now there's a lot of people are calling nurses heroes, but not paying us anymore, which is not my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
What's it been like for you being a nurse in Crazy Town?
Things are just different. You know, we learn something new about what we're supposed to do, we're supposed to have been doing pretty much every single day. And I know that a lot of people are scared, but the biggest change to my life is that I might catch a deadly virus. All of my patients are supposed to have it, or they have tested positive. My day-to-day is still the same. I still do the same activities.
Yeah, because I guess you're at risk every day. Even when coronavirus isn't a thing, you're still at risk of catching something.
Yeah.
And you may not even know.
Basically. I mean, most of the things that we work with are less infectious. Normally, like if somebody's got an infection in their arm, I'm probably not going to catch that because I'm not licking it.
Touch it.
I don't get a nice good sample.
So you told me one time the story of how you became a nurse. Do you want to share that? You had like a specific moment kind of where you decided.
Oh yeah. I mean, there were a lot of moments, but you're talking about the helping people?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah. So I mean, you already know this, but when I was
the viewers don't.
When I was very very young, and like my parents' starter house or whatever, we lived next door to two girls that were roughly my age, and there weren't other it wasn't even a neighborhood. There were like 6 houses on the street, and that was it. And we were like I don't know. There were two my age children moved in next door, which was super hype for me because I had friends, but there wasn't anybody that I could just be like, I'm gonna walk over here and hang out with these people. Not having to move in next door, great, good stuff. Long story short, looking back on it, I realized that their home life was not ideal. And they lived next to us for a very short period of time. I don't know exactly what the circumstance was. But before they left, they told me that when they were with me, they felt safe, and that I was a good person, and they basically left me with the sentiment like, continue to do good, and that's really what I strive to do.
Do you think that's one of your main motivations? What helps you wake up every morning and go to your job?
I would say so. Just the fact that I can do something meaningful for a single individual. I'm a big fan of the idea that our actions kind of resonate. Paying it forward, if you will. If I can change one person's day, it's infinite the amount of people that can impact because everyone's got their own circles and involvements.
How do you? It's always so wild to me thinking about jobs like yours, being a nurse or doctor or surgeon and shit. How do you? I'm sure there's days where you wake up and you're like, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm exhausted. I don't really want to go to work. But jobs like I've had, if I go into Five Guys and I'm tired, I don't have to be on my A game. But if you're not, someone could literally die. So how do you kind of motivate yourself and wake up every morning and be like, all right, let's get this shit done?
There's a lot of factors to it. Certainly some of it is just a sense of duty that I've always had that I don't know where that actually comes from, but I feel like I'm supposed to do something and accomplish something basically every day. The people that I work with in general, have always helped me kind of rally that spirit and feel like I am going to be able to do what I need to do. And there are some days where you wake up and, you know, I'm not feeling on my A game, and I know that, like, I'm going to need some time. I'm going to have to rely on others a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just get through it.
You don't really have any other option.
Right. I mean, there's nothing else that I can do. I'm not sick. I'm not going to call out from work. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my job to the best of my capability that day. And I think a lot of it is recognizing, like, what I can do. Because, you know, I don't have to perform at 100% constantly. That's more than anybody should be asked to do.
It's more like when the moment strikes, like someone starts calling for a crash cart. And then you're like, it kind of probably just flips on. It's kind of like a habit at this point. It's just like when you hear certain cues and shit, it's just like, okay.
Very much so. Ready. Yeah, no, I mean, even if I'm, you know, taking a backseat day, as soon as we start hearing a code getting called, it's like, okay, all hands on deck, what do you need? And we all run to our roles. I've never seen anybody majorly mess up.
What are
adrenaline?
You said nursing was hard, and living with you for the past 4.5 years, like, hearing the shit you talk about is incredibly wild. And like, I'm sure if I applied myself and was like super into it, I could do it. But like, how did you make it through studying to be a nurse? Like, all the shit you had to remember. Well, I guess remember. Well, learn.
Yeah.
Because you learn shit. Like, you learn something and you keep it in your head. I remember putting on the test and then basically forget everything. So what's like a suggestion you would give to someone who's starting a nursing program for like the long term?
I mean, application is huge. You know, the difference between the stuff that I had to just straight memorize and the stuff that I learned that I know is that I got to use it. I got to go into a hospital and be like, oh, okay, like, this is how you do chest compressions. I get it. I will know this for the rest of my life. And so the question was about learning.
Yeah. So like, what are some tips and shit that you could give students who, even if they're like in their senior year, well, they probably figured it out at that point, but like a freshman, I guess, planning on going into nursing, what are like some tips to deal with the pressures of the work? And
I mean, first and foremost, you have to want to do it. There are plenty of people that, you know, everyone's mother, once they like finish with their biology degree and realize that they don't want to be a bio researcher or anything, tells them like, oh, nursing school's an option. Your friend is a nurse and she makes good money. There's nursing jobs. I hear there's a nursing shortage. Go to nursing school. You have to want to do it. Anybody can sign up for nursing school and show up and take the tests, but it weeds itself out. You know, there are plenty of people that I started school with that didn't continue in nursing because they realized, this is not really what I wanted to be. I was fortunate that I really enjoyed. I think that's the biggest part. And enjoying it and making it fascinating for yourself is is the easiest way to make things stick. You know, again, I have the advantage of being able to apply it and really feel like I'm using it and integrating the knowledge into what I do. You know, when I was studying anatomy and physiology, I'd be like, hey, can I see your arm?
Yeah.
Like, okay. So that's how the bones fit together.
Yeah.
So using it, you know, being even passionate about it. And, you know, I, again, have all these advantages of actual application, but I'm sure there's things you can do in any realm to make those things at least more relevant to your life. And you got to bullshit yourself a little bit. I didn't love learning all the stuff that I was learning, but I would psych myself up and be like, oh yeah, like I love learning drug classes. Like this is great.
Even though you can't really apply it to anything. It's not like,
right.
Oh, this is what heroin does to the body. It's like, well, I guess I gotta do heroin just to see.
No, but it was just like, all right, I'm so psyched to learn pharmacokinetics today. Yeah.
So what are some long-term goals? Where do you see yourself? I know it changes all the time. It's changed like every year, and it surprises me every time.
Long-term.
All right, I guess next we'll say, well, we can start small.
Small, okay.
What's your next step?
Step one, make it through this pandemic thing. At which point I will hopefully get to leave Binghamton and go somewhere else. I started applying for jobs, and then this happened, so I haven't heard back from anybody.
Yeah.
I think that I'd like to go to a city for some time. I like Chicago. I like Boston. I like Atlanta. I don't like New York City.
Me neither.
And so that's like a 6 month, hopefully a 6 month plan.
Yeah.
We'll see. Rock there for a little bit, and I go back and forth on what I really want to do. I like bedside nursing, and I think I'd like to do travel nursing for a little bit while I'm young and unattached. Pack up me and Rodger, and are you asleep?
Hey, don't sleep, dude. Rodger's on a no sleep kick for the day, for science.
For his health. But yeah, I think I'd like to do travel nursing for a little bit. Get to see some of the country and what's going on out there, and get some more experience under my belt. I think long term, I'm probably going to get a master's in some kind of nursing education. And I don't know exactly what I want to do with that, but everyone that I've had as a instructor or preceptor or something in my nursing career that I've looked up to and enjoyed has gone down the educational role. And so I think that's at least what seems like the correct course for me. I'm not really interested in being a manager, but eventually, I think that eventually I want to move away from the bedside after I've done it for a little bit and really feel like I was a nurse, and start having, if and when I'm married with kids, it'd be nice to have weekends and holidays off, is really what I'm saying.
Because I think